Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm going to be talking to you about my Alice collection. So if you don't know, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is one of my favourite classics of all time, but also just one of my favourite books of all time. It is a book that I come back to over and over again. I think really I've probably reread this book more times than I really acknowledge, because I will often put on an audiobook of this and fall asleep to it and then like not finish it or whatever, but it's something I just find like really comforting in that way. I loved the Disney film as a kid, and it was one of the first classics that I read just for my own enjoyment and not for like anything to do with education. And again, completely loved it. But then in my third year of university, I did a Victorian childhoods module. It was one of my favourite modules that I did throughout the entirety of my university education. Big up Beth Rogers in the English Literature department at Aberystwyth University. And it just showed me this book in such a different perspective. Sometimes with studying a book, it can often like ruin it for you. But I had the complete opposite experience with studying Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and also the follow-up Through the Looking Glass, in that it just enriched my reading experience of the Alice novels. Delving into the novels in more depth was something that offered me so many new perspectives on how children were perceived in the Victorian era and also the changing role of education for Victorian children. The Alice novels are packed with so much social commentary around education, and Lewis Carroll is really critiquing the way children were taught and why were we teaching children particular things, why were we just encouraging them to memorize things rather than actually understand things. And what I love about revisiting the Alice novels is that I can choose to switch on that part of my brain or switch it off, so I can appreciate those really interesting things that I want to dive into and analyze more, and that I really loved analyzing for an exam. Or I can just engage with it on a kind of surface level. These characters are unusual and eccentric, and enjoy the story as just pure entertainment. And because I love the Alice novels so much, I have collected a lot of different editions of the books over the years. You can see them just up there, and you can also see my framed poster from the Disney animation as well. I do have a lot of other Alice related bits and bobs, and I'll do some cutaways so you can see some of those. But now I am going to get my collection of Alice books down from the shelf and tell you about them in a little bit more detail and where I got the different editions from. So the edition that I first read is not a copy that I still own. I had a really little like Penguin Classics version of the novel, and I kind of wish I'd kept that. It didn't have any notes or anything in it, but it was the version that I studied from as well. But when I started collecting the Penguin English Library books, which you can see behind me, I did really want to get the novel in this edition. So here is the Penguin English Library edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I don't love the colour of this one. I love the little like flamingos that are on it, but I just find it a little bit odd that this was the colour choice. Maybe not using the iconic like blue and red offered this edition of the book a point of difference, but I do love having this edition nonetheless, and it being part of my Penguin English Library collection. I keep this one with those Penguin English Library books as opposed to up here with the rest of them. The next edition that I got is this Alma Classics edition, and I completely love this cover. I love the pink and baby blue. I just love that aesthetic. I love like this shiny hat. We love a bit of foil. I think it's just such an aesthetically pleasing version of this book, and I got this at the university bookshop at the University of Aberystwyth. I've never actually read from this edition before. It is like purely decorative, but I think we can all agree that it's freaking gorgeous. The next editions I have are these, and these are from the Folio Society. So they are in a little slipcase, and I must admit the slipcase is a little bit grim and dirty, but man, just look at them. They're beautiful. I am so obsessed with these editions. The Folio Society books are quite expensive because, you know, they are beautiful like this. They come in a slipcase. But I got these in Istwith Books for the bargain price of £10. Absolutely love them. I will never part with these books, even though the slipcase is a bit grim. I'm not massively into Folio Society editions of books, but when it comes to the Alice novels, I absolutely am. I also have 3 different editions, 2 that are bind-ups and 1 that is just the first novel, that are published by Macmillan. So of course the Alice novels are out of copyright now, anyone can publish a version of them, but Macmillan were the original publishers of the original text. And I used to work for Pan Macmillan, and very early on when I started working there, we were getting ready to move office, and because of that people were like clearing away a lot of stuff, things that they didn't really need to take to the new office, and there was quite regularly these cardboard boxes full of books that we could just rummage through, and if we wanted to take anything home, we could. And one of the things I found in those boxes was this, the Alice collection. It is gorgeous. It has both of the novels in it in this slipcase. Absolutely love them. This one has a foreword by Hilary Mackay, and this one with a foreword from Philip Arda. Absolutely gorgeous hardbacks with like these wibbling edges. They have ribbon markers as well, and I love a ribbon marker. Oh, and they're just beautiful. I also have this bind up of both of the Alice novels that has a foreword by Anna South, and this is part of the Macmillan Collector's Library. It's so cute and so small. Beautiful gilded edges, and this has a ribbon marker as well. The end pages that all of the MCL books have, and the naked hardback is also this wibbling material, and it has this like embossing on it as well. Such a cute little addition. I don't think you're ready for this next one. I don't think you're ready. God, it's just so freaking beautiful. Look at her. She's stunning. She's a chunky, big old illustrated hardback, illustrated by none other than Chris Riddell, whose like illustration style I completely love. Do also want to draw your attention to the Mad Hatter, who I would absolutely let murder me. I haven't actually read this, but my plan is the next time that I want to read this book, I will do it in this edition and appreciate all of Chris Riddell's wonderful illustrations. I will probably do that in Victober, and it will be such a like cozy reading experience for me, because you know, by then it will also be like dark again. I can totally imagine myself like getting into bed with like a warm drink and just being like the coziest ever. Not only are the illustrations of course gorgeous, but them end papers though. And when you take the dust jacket off, it looks so classical. It's got foil, it's got a ribbon marker. I'm actually like low-key worried that I do have more editions of this that I've just forgotten about, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I think that's kind of it. Like, I don't think I would want to get any more editions of it, although there will be a sequel to this Chris Riddell one that is Through the Looking Glass, so I think I would want to get that one. But beyond that, I think I'm kind of done with my Alice collection. I'm really happy with how it looks and how it's all proportioned with the books stacked one on top of the other. I think it's just like very aesthetically pleasing, and I don't think there are any other books that I would really want to do this with that I feel are kind of iconic enough or that I have a personal attachment to that I would want multiple editions of. Are there any books like that for you? Books that you want to collect multiple editions of? If you don't have anything particular to say, leave me an Alice related emoji down in the comments. So it could be the flamingo emoji, it could be like a playing card suit, it could be a teacup, it could be a hat. That's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will speak to you in my next video.